Hello and welcome to our 6-year anniversary edition of the JHB Spotlight and Recap here on my network, JLJ Media. That's right, I'm the JLJ of JLJ Media. And we are here to talk about what happened last week, of course. But before we do that, the first minutes or so, we're going to talk about us. We're going to celebrate us's at 6 years of this. And it is the original panel, if you're a longtime fan from AfterBuzz TV, which is dead. If you're a longtime fan of them, you know I'm Shady Sunday. You'll see 4 people who were together for a year or so back in the day. And she came back once for another reunion years ago. But first, of course, there's Lacretia Lyon. Hello, Miss Lacretia.
Hello.
Frank Moran down the corner.
Hey, everybody.
And yes, folks, it's been a long time. I found her. I didn't find her. She wasn't anywhere, but I found her. It is Ladine J. Harvey. How are we, Ladine?
Hello. Don't forget to add Corinthos, Ladine Corinthos.
Yes.
Harvey.
That's right. Oh my God, that's right. Oh my God, it's so funny. That's right.
Well, of course you'd have to come back the week that Sunny came back, right?
Right. That's so funny. That's right. That's right. Oh my goodness. Yes. Hello. So before we get to her and everybody, I'm gonna do the church announcements. Earlier today, we didn't do a Y&R live show, but I put out a video. So a video is out. It's there. So Y&R Main Spotlight is out. Tammy Gouveia and I did Bold and Beautiful Main Spotlight. We talked about all kinds of going on there. That is out now too. You can go ahead and listen to that or watch that. That is out where you get those. Edition Days has Ron Calavardi right now on their show. So after you finish with this one, check that out because my latest Princess the Devil, so they brought him on. So we're talking about that on that show. And of course, we are here and you guys are coming in. Thank you. Yeah, JHB Spotlight was GH Report at one point. And we give a shout out to Carla Renata, our girl, who is actually doing a play of Designing Women, a Black version of Designing Women. So she's busy doing that right now, but she sends her love. And we're planning something with her in a few weeks. There's something coming up with her in a few weeks.
Wow.
Well, actually, it was just, she didn't want to see Frank. That's what it really was. She didn't want to see Frank.
I don't blame her. I don't even see myself.
Just kidding. She loves us. She loves Frank. But she couldn't make it, but she sent her love to all of us, of course. And so I said, thank you to Carla Renata. So she's out there making things happen. The Curvy Critic everywhere. So check her out. But we are here, the 4 of us. I feel like a proud papa because I just, I started this thing 6 years. It's my second longest running show I've ever did. I'm getting black all of a sudden. Ever done.
Yes.
And so I can't believe that you guys said in the chat, I can't believe it was 6 years either. I remember when I found these 3
meeting up
on Craigslist. Like
Craigslist.
Right. On Craigslist.
So I want to ask you guys again, because it's been so long, I just don't even remember. I know Lacretia was already new about AfterBuzz TV, and that was something different. But I want to ask you, Ladine, first. Did you go on Craigslist looking for jobs?
Yeah, because I was fresh out of college and I was trying to figure out where I could settle in somewhere. And I like hosting, and then I saw the listing and then I was like, I wonder if this is legit. I was reading it, and then I think I was sent to, I had a link to something. I was like, okay, this looked legit. I applied, and then when I met James, I was like, oh, hey, this legit.
Okay, so I gotta tell people before I get to Frank, the thing was, I got to AfterBuzz TV. I was doing Edition Days, and I said, do you have a General Hospital one? They're like, no. And Roxy Stryer said to me years later, we laughed about it. She goes, well, James, you want one? Cast it, put it together, and we can do a sample show. And she didn't know who I was yet. I do what I say. I'm like, okay, you want me to do something? I'll put it together. So then that's why I said, I'm thinking, I'll go on Craigslist to see what happens and see if anybody answers. I had 40 responses. So these are folks that I met out of 40 people. There were 5 or 6 that weren't for real, but the 40 were real. Frank Moran, so same. I don't think I'm ever asked you this question either. Did you go on Craigslist for stuff? I mean, how'd you find me?
Well, I mean, I know that we had met at that casual encounter, and then when we finished, you said, "Oh, I have to get back home to watch General Hospital." I was like, "Oh, you like General Hospital too?" So do I. And then you said, "Well, I happen to be doing a show about it." Like, oh, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Really? That's true?
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's not true. Casual encounter.
Listen, I'm unsure if I believe it or not.
No, that was it. It just seemed real, didn't it? No, we had not been casual encounter.
I mean, it sounds like a great story.
It sounds like a great story.
Yeah, it's a narrative, that's how we live these days, Why not? Why not let that be your origin story?
Our origin story. Annie Goen, who's been a fan from the beginning, says, "Welcome back, Ladine." What's up, back to Ladine? Hi, Ladine.
Mm-hmm.
Annie Goen. DT Door, remember the first episode? Yeah. So then Lacretia, I can't remember how you. I mean, were you just going on crazy looking at stuff too, kind of casually?
Yeah, it's funny because the stigma about Craigslist, but I've actually found like a lot of good gigs on Craigslist. And I sort of started in the much safer place, Dallas, doing that. But yeah, like all sorts of like hosting type of jobs. I mean, you have to, of course, go through the ones that are clearly porn or prostitution or whatever. I mean, you got to weed that out. There's certain words, guys, like we all know the key words, but James didn't use any of those words. And I was like, it can't be porn, right? It can't be prostitution. They're talking about General Hospital. That's a show I've watched my whole life. And then sure enough, this guy, and I was like, oh no, this guy isn't trying to have sex with me. So it seemed to work out pretty well.
I wasn't. You're cute and all, but no, I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not your type. I get it.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But yes, and funny, Lacretia was sick. I didn't know that day. She was sick.
Yes, I was like, I'm sorry, I had food poisoning the night before. Are we good?
I had no idea, but you lasted a half hour. And Ladine, I remember telling her I liked her. She had a presentation, and I saw this beautiful bald Black woman doing this kind of reading thing. And I thought, who's that? I mean, we need that on television. I think I told you guys, we need that on television. And we talked about it because you said you're an actress. You're an actress.
Oh, I remember.
Remember?
I remember. It was like an actress slate that I did in college.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, wow. I forgot I had to submit that because you wanted a video of us speaking.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, who's this? I thought visually, I thought it was something different. Plus, Days was 3 dudes talking soaps. And I was like, no, we got to have chicks on this. I know it sounds
chicks,
so
man.
Hey, chicks, man. Hey, some chicks on here. And I wanted diversity too. But then when Lacretia and I talked, she was saying she tried to get them to do something to her hospital beforehand, right? And they were like, no. So I was like, well, Lacretia, come on in. We're gonna make it happen then. And I was like, we got Black women coming on. And then there was Frank. And I was like, no, I mean, not like that. I mean, like there was I love
the
Frank.
Sweet icing on the cake.
He was. I mean, literally, I was like, he's a straight guy who likes soaps. I was like, that's what I want.
Finally, the straight white male filled the quota. Finally,
he filled it.
It's hard being a straight white man. Everybody, it's hard.
And so that's how we came together. We did a test show for them. They loved it. They totally loved it. They asked to do one more for some reason. They're like, "Did you do one more?" And we did it. And we had to wait. It took forever. It was 6 months. We had to wait till we got to the new studio. They wouldn't let us do it at the house, but instead we do it at the new studio. Now we were one of the first shows in the new studio. That's North Hollywood. We did it, and we were a success in the beginning.
It was amazing.
It was a lot of fun. I had guests on. We had Robert Palmer Watkins on many times, Carolyn Hennessy and Michelle Stafford. I mean, we had always they were so gracious, and Donnell Turner, my man. And
where's your standee? Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyway, there was some great people in there that came on. We were very fortunate. Mark Teschner, shout out to him, who got me in touch with the people there. And we had guests on from the very beginning. And the 4 of us came together and talked about General Hospital at the AfterBuzz TV studios. And we did that. It was a lot of fun. It was very diverse. Do you guys remember any kind of how has this been for you? I mean, like for you, I'll start with you two that have been here a little longer. Especially Frank, you're the one who stayed uninterrupted this whole time. You have done this whole Frank's the MVP. He's done the whole time. With Carla,
nothing else going on. I don't.
That's right, Frank.
So I mean, so doing the show, what is it just kind of done for you?
Nothing, sadly. I thought I was punching my ticket. with this, and the reality keeps come crashing down on me. But no, it's been great to be able to talk about this, whether with the three of you or with Carla, or the occasional either solo show or taking listener calls.
That's right. You did
Yeah.
We've all done one or two of those.
Yes. So, but I mean, you talk. It's certainly a passionate fan base, and it is great. We all like different characters and different storylines, and I feel like that's where the fun of the show comes in, where you start seeing where you agree and disagree on stuff, and the fun we have about it. I mean, I think we're passionate about the show, but we don't take it so seriously. It's not life and death for us, so we can have fun making fun of the things that drive us crazy, and and celebrating the things that we like.
Yes, and Lacretia, same with you. I mean, you've done it off and on with us for years. So you've gone, come back, gone. You're with us. You're always with us, so you're part of it. But how's it been for you?
Yeah, it was really sort of my foray into like panel hosting, because I did, and that was what I sent you, my YouTube show, inspired by Norm Macdonald,
Sports
RIP,
Without the
one of my
Balls.
heroes.
I love it.
Yep, Sports Without the Balls. It was like a sports soup. And I always loved the soaps, but I never really thought of that like outside just enjoying it and watching it and off and on most of my life. So when I got that opportunity, it's like, oh, well, it's fun to share this with somebody, because most people, I mean, no one else was going home to their TiVo in college to watch General Hospital and, break up with General Hospital whenever they killed Georgie and Emily, like fucking bastards. Oh, sorry, my language. Slow Gen Fizz, guys, blame it on that. But yeah, and so it was so nice to be able to talk to people about it, because like Frank said, we love talking about the things we love and hate, and we don't take it too seriously. We have fun with it because these shows are fun, and it's really sort of gotten me into watching some of the other soaps as well, and led on to doing cool things like you said, interviewing people at AfterBuzz, or going to the daytime Emmys and being able to be on the red carpet interviewing people like I did with Ladine. That was really a fun time we had, and that led to like SoapCon Live. I did the first Comic Con for soaps because of this show.
Yes, and I'll tell you, Ladine, because you guys got General Turner saying "Happy Birthday" to me at the Emmys.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Do you remember that whole? What are your thoughts about when you went to the Emmys? You got to go to the Emmys and be a red carpet.
I did, but I would say that if that interview comes back later on in life, I'm going to be fried. I was so nervous. It was my very first red carpet event. When somebody comes in front of you, you start like, what do I say? Even though you have everything in your head, it's almost like, it's not even starstruck, but it's like you want to make sure that you are engaging them. You know what I mean? It was pretty intense for me, but such an amazing experience. And I don't know, I've been chasing that feeling of that day, huh?
You look great.
I said, and you looked fabulous. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That dress, you guys did. Yeah, you guys.
Was I was a nanny at the time in LA, and one of the mothers had a designer, and she hooked me up with. I didn't have to pay for anything. The only thing I had to do was my hair. That was so like nobody but God. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
And for you back then too. So I mean, this was like your first kind of hosting. It was the first all kind of stuff for you back then.
It was the first.
You were a baby. You guys were babies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, except for Frank. The other two were babies, but me and Frank were old now.
No, but it was definitely first when we first out of college. And what a beautiful experience. Even just working with the three of you, like our relationship together, our spark together, like the differences, the agreements, like it was all great. And then I remember, life happened for me. Life can happen for anybody.
Oh, we know what the last year.
Oh, yes.
So, when I had to opt out to leaving the show so I could move back home, that was a crusher for me. And it took me a while to get over that hump. I moved home for 3 years. I didn't think I was going to be home for 3 years. Wow. So I've been back in California for 2 years now.
Yeah.
But I'm here and I'm ready to work, get back on track. Sometimes you hit those little rock bottoms.
Yeah.
But it's how you recover.
Well, I want to ask you because we met up again during the pandemic. So how was your pandemic though? Because you're here in LA was shut down. It was heavy out here. How'd you survive that?
Yeah, I came back October 2019 and the pandemic hit that March. And when I moved back to California, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a place. But I was staying with somebody. And what's crazy is that the job that I was working, I was doing undercover security for Macy's. And I don't know, I just felt like, maybe I shouldn't be working for Macy's. I don't know what made me feel like that, but I quit. And then once I quit and started doing the same line of work for a different store, Macy's ended up getting shut down during the pandemic. But the grocery store that I was working for doing undercover security was an essential worker job. Yeah. So I was blessed enough to not even have to go through the stress of, the no job period or the no unemployment period. Like I was working the entire pandemic. And even that alone just kind of like gives me the chills sometimes, because if I had not taken that leap of faith to just leave Macy's, I probably would have been without a job. Or, when I came back, I had to save to buy a car, save to get a place. So I was thinking in my head, what if I didn't take that move? I would have been stuck. So the pandemic, it's been hard emotionally because I'm away from my family. But I'm grateful that I haven't lacked, I haven't missed a meal, and I'm doing okay. I have my moments, but I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Yeah, we all had to. Lacretia's not even in California right now, so we've had to.
No.
Yeah, I had to come home to Texas because when your job is events, and they don't do those. And but it, like you say, it's humps like this that it's been nice to be able to do this online with everybody. As I did the SoapCon, we did it all online. But yeah, now my whole family, we're moving to California here at the end of the year if all goes as planned. So yeah, I mean it's kind of worked out. I think for everybody, I think in the long run, as long as you stick with it and you're doing what you love and you're where you want to be or on your way to be where you want to be.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Just be on your way.
Yes. And Ladine,
might not even have a map, but just go.
Exactly. Let's go. Now, Ladine, you were known for loving Sonny Corinthos.
Yeah.
So do you still love Sonny Corinthos?
Is that even a question? Yeah. I am the Corinthos, not Carly, me. It's me.
You wouldn't marry Jason, would you?
Back in the day, I did used to have a thing for Jason.
When he makes those sad eyes, I don't think
Sonny would appreciate that at the moment. Yeah. So let's just stick to. Let's just stick to my Sonny.
Yes, the Sonny. So yeah, and Maurice Bernard actually just retweeted something to me today. He actually said thank you. I thanked him for his show. He has a show out called and he thanked me for saying that I liked his interviews. Just now. So I didn't do
it's really good. I like his show. Yeah.
It's really good. He's talking about mental health. There's something about mental health. So he's really working that out. Ladine would never trifle with Alcazar or Jax. She's a Sonny fan. She's always been a Sonny fan from the very beginning. This was back when Lacretia would talk crap about Sonny.
Okay, every show.
But I came around, and because I love Maurice. I think he's great. I mean, I talked to him about when he was just starting the State of Mind about mental health and everything like that. So yeah, and I liked the Mike, character that he was doing, and Sonny's really won me over. Yeah.
See? Now,
I'm glad he warmed you over, but you can only have one. Gotta put that out there.
I was like, "Where's my mug? My Valentine is my Valentine mug. I gotta get that." It's like I'm Valentine girl.
There's a question for Frank. Frank, how does it feel having the other half of Lank back?
Sorry, it has gummy sharks.
Oh, it is. It's like you're coming home. And you open the door and you smell the delicious banana bread smell. You're like, yes, this is what I've been missing.
Well, folks, longtime folks don't know this. They sat next to each other. And I also think we were boy, girl. Chris was always next to me, and they were next to each other on the other side of the table. So you look at old episodes, you'll see them, and the fans start calling them late. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, sure, I guess that's what we'll call them. Sure, okay. And that became this thing. And so they're always kind of play it up and stuff. And it was kind of fun. It was kind of funny. The fans actually did that. So very, very interesting.
Like always place in my heart.
Oh, see, there you go. Aww. See, the one man who won't forsake you. He will never forsake you at all. So before we let you go, Ladine, I just want to thank you for coming on, and you're welcome back anytime you want to do the show. You're always welcome to come back and do the show, of course. Just to the fans out there,
I have a lot more. I have a lot more catching up to do, guys. During my period of time when I was away, I fell off a little bit. I do see like little interviews here and there. Or I hear here and there about GH, but I'm not like as fully in the boat as I used to be. But I appreciate everybody. And James, I want to thank you again for the opportunity. 6 years. That's crazy.
That crazy. It really is crazy. When I started getting I was like, wait a minute, because Dish and Days did turn 6 first, or I'm like, wait a minute. So then that's our turn next. We were the next one. So. And
I just want to let you know that is a reflection of you too, of you holding it down. And we appreciate you and we thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I love you guys. So thank you very much. I really wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. I wouldn't be here. So I have no shame in saying that. So then that includes all three of us, all three of you guys would not be here. So Ladine Harvey, if people want to follow you, where should they follow you?
My Instagram, Ladine J, LADINE JAE. I consider myself the cardio queen.
I love it. Sure, why not? You can have your
I've seen some of those jump rope videos.
Listen, I'm open.
Yeah, I seen you do
it. So, all right, guys.
Thank you, Ladine. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great show. Bye.
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 Oh, you guys. So that's going back in time, folks. Going back in time. One of the OGs, Ladine Harvey. I just spilled my drink all over myself, so it's really funny. I'm not even drunk yet. I had two sips of it, and now it's all over my notes and everything. So like,
I cry over spilled booze. Like,
me too. Normally, me too. I have a little tiny bit left. The rest of it spilled out.
Oh.
I'm like, oh well. So that's life.
You get a refill?
No, we're gonna get.
Yeah, we'll hold down the report while you get a refill. Like,
I'm gonna sit in my booze soaked shorts right now, and we're gonna do the show. I'm a professional, folks. I'm a professional. Yes.
Go.
So everybody, now we're gonna talk about the show. I was told Tammy Govea is in the chat room. She said I should make sure I say I'm not because she hasn't watched the current. So Tammy, you can leave now. We're gonna talk the show until you catch up. Your episodes.
Don't worry, nothing really happened. Sorry. I sound like Frank,
I mean, just like Frank. I know. No, she's catching up. She's getting there.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Ladine does look great, so it's good. And the moss. Okay, so yes, you should say bye now. Say bye now, Tammy.
Bye, Tammy.
Say good night, Tammy.
Good night, Tammy. Good night, Tammy.
Yes, I'm out. I'm out. XOXO. So the moss. I don't know if anybody follows me on Twitter. I started a whole thing on Twitter. William DeVry actually commented too. So I was kind of half joking. I just want something fun. I'm like, where's the moss? What's this lily thing? It's so dumb. Where's the moss? And now it's gone viral. So I
was gonna go full Nancy Grace on this moss business. Where is the moss? Is it because it is not a blonde-haired white girl?
I got Nancy Grace for you. I got Nancy Grace. Yes. Tell him, girl. Tell him.
Yes. It's like, we need to find that moss.
Oh, exactly. That's right. Thank you, Nancy. Exactly. Actually, I do. I have Nancy Grace. I have Anderson Cooper. And I have my buddy, Larry King.
Anyway, cute.
Anyway, there's no story. So it's funny you did that. I have Nancy Grace sitting here. No, so I made it as a joke. So now it's gone viral. I'm getting the funniest reactions. I want to say to everybody who's been reacting, and people are getting mad at me too. Like, he's just silly, he's being silly. I'm like, get a sense of humor.
It's silly.
It is silly.
These shows are silly, guys. If you
Right.
take them too seriously, you're watching it wrong. Like
Yes,
we
I'm
love
like-
the serious stuff. It makes us cry. It makes us, love the romance or whatever those feelings are. Frank and I are robots, so we're like, what the, we have to fake that.
They're
But yeah,
dead
you
inside.
guys know, like this is funny. Like
It's funny. It's like
Yeah.
the whole Moss thing we've made fun of this whole show because it showed up out of nowhere in the kitchen. Like, where'd that come
Mhm.
from? They took it away, and I was like, where is it? So that's been kind of a joke. It's a sip, but I want to say thank you to everybody who's made it really funny, the funniest reactions,
Yeah.
and comebacks for it. And there is Twitter handle. I think it's GH's Moss Boss. I think it's what it is. Hope I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah.
And so that person who was running it is really funny also. So it's been the funny stuff. But William DeVry was like, is this a joke? I'm like, yeah, it's a joke.
So
Hmm?
even the actors on the show have made fun of it. So
Oh yeah,
that's
like
the whole point.
Steve Burton he's taking pictures. Eden
Eden
McCoy,
McCoy,
like they have
yeah,
a good
Eden McCoy,
time.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's cute.
it's completely just it's just kind of it's silly. It's silly. It's something silly. And so people just
Mhm.
the joke has just been so fun. But I want to say just thinking of folks who have a sense of humor.
I did like seeing just William DeVry comment on yours. So that was
And me too. I was like, William, like, oh my god, oh my god. I was like, okay, I loved it. I was just like, it was all because there's enough negativity on TV. You got View co-host testing positive for COVID mid-show. We got things going on. I'm like, that's like something silly and fun.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the View thing was what's more believable, that or the Marlena being possessed by the devil? I mean,
I was watching it. It was great television, though. It was great television. I was like, that's right. Go on, Joy Behar and Sarah Haynes working out. I thought it was great television. I loved it.
It's all theater.
Little theater, exactly. But yeah, so it's the Moss. Yeah, everybody the Moss. It's just funny. Okay, so we'll start out this week because the big story. Sonny's back, bitches. He's back. He made the boy Charles in 2.5 seconds. He is back. And I will say what everybody else said. For me, it was Lexi Ainsworth, our buddy who's been on the show. She's been with us years ago. Has been on the show. To me, she's the last person to find out of the kids that Sonny was alive, and she came in. And to me, that's when I started kind of crying a little bit. I thought she killed out of everybody. She kind of killed it.
Yeah, she stole the show.
And everybody
that girl can act. Yeah.
Connect. Like, where is she? Where's Christina?
Where were the security guards that are around that house that Sonny can just walk in and nobody notices? Nobody's like blowing up Jason and Curly's phone saying, oh my God, Sonny is here and he's alive. No, nobody says anything. And he just walked right in. Like, great. You guys are in the midst of a possible mob war and there's no security, constantly surveilling this house. Good job, guys. Good job.
Yes, they didn't. He just actually just walk right on in.
I'm guessing they were all at the wedding. At least they could kind of like get away with it for that. Like they should have somebody in the guard check. He was probably asleep, like George Harrison's. I was like, oh, that might have been too inside for some of you people. George Harrison was a member of the Beatles.
And he was at the Bangladesh concert. I got my mind set on you. No, everybody's saying in the chat room, but Lexi to me was like the revelation. Like she just came in there and was like the true. It made sense to their characters, made sense to who they are, it made sense that he's alive. And like Michael didn't cry. I'm like, that you love your dad so much. I'm like, it was just kind of weird. Some of the reunions, Dante was actually close. Was a close second.
Oh yeah, Dante was great. Yeah,
close second. He didn't bug me as much. Frank, I don't know how you feel about Dante.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, you found out all these things that you wish you would have said to your dad, and all of a sudden your dad's in front of you. So before you do anything else, you want to just make sure, I guess, you get everything out that you're feeling before life gets in the way. So yeah, I can that scene wasn't too bad.
Joe says Sonny had no keys how he got in. I know, he just walked in.
Yeah,
but I said he got there. Okay, here I don't understand. Okay, maybe you guys can fill me in. How far exactly? Okay, so I'm from. Okay, I know New York. I know upstate New York. I'm from Pittsburgh, which is in Pennsylvania. I know there's a distance. I know that it's not that far, but it's not that close. I know there's a distance from Pittsburgh. I've did it before. From Pittsburgh to New York City, it's 6 hours. I've done the drive many times. But upstate is not in New York City. It's further up. So I'm just trying to figure out how fast these people are getting to places. Like Nixon Falls. I mean, I don't know. Am I just crazy? I mean, it seems like it's super fast.
he uses
I have
private jet, so.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've seen the episode of How I Met Your Mother where they lick the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia like 106 times. And I mean, I'm just like guessing that the time between certain parts of Pennsylvania and certain parts of New York can't be that far. But I'm from Texas where everything's just really far, except Louisiana and Oklahoma. Like, yeah, you can get there much faster than you could do the other side of Texas. It's ridiculous, but yeah.
That's true. Texas, I've driven through Texas. It's very long. It's like, we still here? Like, we can't get out of here. I'm trying to get to Louisiana. It took forever.
Yeah.
That's like crazy. So I mean, so Dante reunion wasn't as bad for me. But him and Jason and Carly, that to me was the most interesting reunion part. And the whole week, it's been very strange. Like it's not what I thought it would be, and maybe it's on purpose, I guess, because they're trying to make us believe that Sonny and Carly, Carly and Jason are in love, I guess. So is that why it's so weird for Sonny and Jason? Because usually they're like boyfriends, and like they're helping each other. So like it's kind of
like Jason's usually his first love over Carly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Jason, Brenda,
right, exactly. I was like, I was waiting for the bromance to like, just, because it was quietly in the corner, kind of like feeling some emotions, but I was just kind of like, yeah, because Sonny was being so calm was weird. I'm like, yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, it was a little. I was like, I'm trying to figure out what was going on there. Yeah, because Carly did her. She did her thing. She did her Carly thing, which was she did, and she was fine. But and taking off the rings off that fast. A lot of these just kind of like, that was it, kids. Bye.
But then later, it's like 2 episodes later, she's like, we need to talk about us, and it's like, oh, Carly, you finally gonna have your cake and eat it too? Mm-hmm.
I thought of Frank though when I did. I felt a little dead inside when Jason went to literally, they have Jason and Britton scenes immediately like the next day. And I'm like, oh, so now let's reset everything, go back to what it was before. I'm like, that's not good either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed odd, and this is where I'm like, are they gonna have Sonny and Carly? Or have Jason and Carly? Charlie have an affair, because that would be the ultimate betrayal. Because believing he was dead and you guys getting together is one thing, but dancing on his live body all behind his back is like.
You think they'll do that?
If the show is in for the long haul, I think they will, because. What was the whole point of all this if that wasn't going to happen? Because I think most of us always felt like there was more between Jason and Carly.
Interesting. So go ahead, Frank.
No, but I see how, before this thing with Carly took off, we saw how he was able to compartmentalize his feelings with Britt, even though he had, regrets about doing it to be with Carly. So it seems weird for Jason to not be able to do that same thing, getting out of the Carly situation as well. He seems like Jason can, I feel the two of them, Jason can easily more compartmentalize it. Carly's going to be the interesting one to see how she handles all this.
Yeah, that's what it was, Frank. I think that's what it is. That Jason usually can put it in a spot, but he seems more emotional. Maybe that's what it is. He seems more emotional than I'm used to seeing him. Well, as well as Jason can be emotional. You know what I mean? Like. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's hitting me. Is that it just seems like, why is he just going, okay, well, Sonny's back. Okay, good luck. I gotta move on. It's like he's kind of holding on a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah. I will say, as much as I was tired of Mike, I quickly grew tired of Sonny. When he was doing like his big getting all yelly during the Ava in the kitchen scene, when she's talking about the stalking. Oh, damn it. I'm like, I'm already done with Sonny.
I just say this, Frank. I'm actually the opposite. I was like, okay, Maurice, I do see the acting differences. Like literally, I'm like, wow, I didn't know there was a difference until Sonny came back. And I was like, oh my God, that Mike was kind of different then. And then Sonny.
Because I think Nina actually had some insight, of course, only on Sonny / Mike, not herself, but in that he was unburdened. as Mike. And as we all know, like with the Sonny character, the turning point for him was like, you know, of course the childhood trauma, but it was when Lily blew up with his baby was really what turned him down this dark path. And it's knowing all of these things and having all this knowledge is what makes Sonny Sonny. All of these choices and all of these consequences have led to the person he is.
Yeah.
And when you have all of that burden, you are going to react certainly much more differently than you would if you were you know, somebody with no memory of things before.
Yeah, something seemed off for me because I just thought, okay, I mean, Carly did do I will say there were a couple of moments that did get to me a little bit. And that's when Carly, because she just talked about this like maybe a week earlier, the coffee scene where he made the coffee and she just smells the coffee. And I thought, what an interesting scene of something small, of somebody you love. You think it's gone forever and it comes back. That's something it would be such a interesting thing. And the other one, of course, this last scene was very powerful. But I have to say, she's crazy. And the storyline's crazy. But I will say, Cynthia Watros showed us why she has an Emmy. And the scenes at his gravesite, I have to say, the acting in that was really good. Because she's crazy. But you said she had some insight to him, and he didn't say that much. But when he started to cry a little bit, I was got tears when she was talking about how he was the man you wanted to be, probably, and that it was the whole thing, and how that part was because he remembers. I like the fact that he remembers everything. So he has two separate men. Everything. I just thought, wow, because Nina actually is getting to him a little bit. He doesn't want her to get to him. But I just thought the acting of the scene. I thought, okay, I see it. I see the acting. You know, I don't want Nina and Mike together or Sonny. The scene was really good to me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. And like I said, as much as I dislike the Nina character, I loved Michelle Stafford and I love Cynthia Watros. Like they are so good. That's what makes this character palatable on canvas. And I think, you know, our natural, of course, disdain for this just shows like how good they are at portraying somebody who, I mean, we can't be supposed to like Nina, right? I mean, and this is sort of crazy, but this is more of a grounded crazy because I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of people like Nina. I mean, and I hate to say it, but this is a very realistic person and how just desperate and sad and kind of pathetic she is. But I mean, because it's like, honey, like, yeah, you lost 20 years of your life, but everybody around here has got some serious shit going on. But you still always manage to have this weird sense of like a fantastical life. I mean, but again, we all know people like that. I mean, certainly the way you see people live a narrative, and that's what Nina was doing. And I think it's interesting to be as ridiculous as the storyline can seem on the surface. It's like, no, this is grounded and real, and she's really killing it.
I guess I don't know. But Frank, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I hated the storyline.
I know you did.
But you know, the scene between Nina and Carly, Nina and Sonny at the gravesite was I mean, and seeing Sonny having a flashback to his time with with Nina.
Yeah.
So just seeing I'd be curious to see how Sonny feels about having a little taste of that life of not having any mob-related worries. You know, it's tough because I mean he certainly loves his kids and loves his family. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how Nina fits into that. I could see Sonny being tempted to want to have more of a taste of that, but you know, with Carly and the kids, I would think.
Right.
I don't see really that he would leave any of that for Nina, even though Nina may always pine away for the Mike inside of him. I just can't see Sonny leaving all of that for Nina.
No, I mean, I hate to break it to Nina, but it's like, you're not worth it. The one guy who thought you were, even you knew he thought way more of Anna Devane. I mean, you know, just saying. And that's the sad part. Again, like I say, the Nina character irks me at a certain level because I know a lot of women like that. And it is like, they only view like a Mike, a not real person, or who she built Valentine or Silas or all these other people in her mind. And maybe this pushes Nina to get the therapy that Carly told her to get. And Carly ain't necessarily the most self-aware person either at times, but Nina, honey, like you need some help.
Does. And I love her scene with Maxie. Maxie was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm judging you, but I love you. Like, it was kind of like, I'm judging you.
When Maxie can judge you, honey, I love me some Maxie, but that girl has done it all.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She knows that she has. She knows she's done it all. But the thing about Maxie and her, they are like a sisterhood. They stand by, because she has her own secret going on right now too. But see, Nina's thing affects her. I love umbrella stories. So I'm like, this part actually affects. Well, before we get to that, there was that scene, one of the last scenes between Phyllis and Nina, and Phyllis was kind of cold to her, like, I lost everything, bitch. She didn't say that, but that's what she wanted to say. We'll talk later, but like right now, I just lost everything. And it's like,
because I did like how, in case we didn't know, guys, because we didn't watch it just drawn out so long, the fire at the Tano. And hearing it right there at the fire site that it was gone, she had to come back in and just remind everybody the Tano's gone.
It's gone, Frank.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Well, they wanted to make sure that you knew, Frank, that you knew it was gone and it was done. It was all for you. They did it all for you, Frank. They did it all for you.
Exactly. It was for you. It was for you, Frank. Let's go on, Frank. The Tano's gone.
No, what I'm interested in now, I don't really need to see another Nina and Phyllis storyline or scene, but I would like to see a Sunny Phyllis scene. Because I think that'd be
interesting. Yeah.
Especially when Sunny hears about the Tano being lost. I mean, well, he was in the fire, so he knows it's like good. But, reaching out to them, trying to see, thanking him for everything done, trying to help her however he can. I would be
right about that. Well, she has nothing left in Nixon Falls. She has to come to Port Charles or go away. It has to be either one or the other. Either she's off the show or she comes to Port Charles. It has to be one or the other. So I think Sunny will have something to do with that. Because Sunny said he could have done a lot for them. I mean, when he went off on Nina, I mean, that was something, it's kind of, it's, Chartreuse Owl says, Joyce Guy talks to James. A week later declares the Tano gone. Take the gift, Frank. Come on. It's gone now. We took care of it, Frank. We took care of it for you.
I will also be curious to see once Carly and Michael and all them find out how Nina's involvement with how Sunny is going to. Does Sunny just not say anything? And does he intercede? Does he try to, can mitigate some of the stuff that's going to blow up on Nina? I don't know.
Good question.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. Is he going to say anything? Because I feel like Sunny at this point might be too embarrassed to say anything in a way. Like Nina got the one up and he knows how Carly is and Michael and Wiley. And while he's mad, I think there is a level of like, he doesn't want them to know that she knew.
But you know it's going to come out. It has to come out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I wonder how Carly's going to feel about that Nina was kissing on her man.
Oh, yeah. Carly ain't going to take that too well. But I almost feel like the fact that they didn't have Carly and Jason sleep together and led up to all the talking, they're definitely going to. But it's like with Nina and Sunny, I guess they decided never to go there because it is, a sexual assault in a way, because he didn't know. Yeah. And I guess that was the reasoning, but it does like sort of, I didn't like the fact that Nina couldn't be a vengeful, spiteful person like she was when she came on, as much as like, I don't like that bitch either in the reality. On soaps, it's way more fun than the pathetic, way they went with Nina, and that she really loved this fake person.
Yeah. It's really interesting because you're right. Now that it's all consensual, I guess you say now at this point. That they can, I can see the Sunny Nina attraction still happening on some level, which might be good for the show. I mean, we're all like kind of whatever. I mean, it might be good for the show. Who knows? Do we really want Carly and Sunny back to the way we set the way it was before? I don't.
No, I mean, I'll say, again, like Steve Burton and Laura Wright have way more chemistry than Maurice and Laura. I feel like Sunny's best Carly was Tam Braun. I mean, and that's the thing, is they had the chemistry. I mean, he was always better with Brenda. than Carly. Like Sarah Joy had great chemistry with Steve Burton too. And I kind of like that they're revisiting it because I think people finally saw that Laura and him just work better. And Maurice, he could be with just about anybody on the show. The Sonny and Carly stuff, to me, it was never really there. I never felt like they were in game. I think it was just sort of these characters were popular and popular together. I've seen a lot of people who are fans of the characters separately, but not necessarily as a couple. And I think like that it's just sort of like you fall back into that pattern. But Carly and Jax were better like than this iteration of Carly and Sonny. I think they've just moved so far past it. And we have a lot of great options for Sonny that we could explore. Hell, I'd be fine with him going back with Alexis. Like, I mean, let's just do something different because the Sonny and Carly back and forth has been meh for years.
Well, I always said they had to do after Morgan's death, when they finally got back together again. I'm like, they can't break them up. But now I'm seeing they found a way they could actually do that. I just thought they've been going back and forth for so long, it was just tiresome. So I think, but now I guess maybe you're right. Maybe they have a chance to spread them other ways. So I guess we'll see it. Well, spread. I shouldn't have said that, but you know what I mean.
No, I was like, oh, James.
I'd be down for that if I felt like the show was going to really make an effort to have it be something that stuck for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
Whereas it's Jason and Carly and Sonny with somebody else and just all the ramifications that would come out of it. How does it affect the business? How does that affect them and the family? How does it do all that? I don't feel like the show right now, it seems to be the kind of show that would be willing to make that kind of investment and all the different kind of ripple effects that it would have. So I kind of like go, nah, it's probably not going to be as that exciting as I would hope it would be. But if they really wanted to like say, yes, this is it, we're really going to make an investment in it for years, this is what it's going to be. And it could generate a lot of stories, but I don't know if the show would go there.
Well, another storyline that came to a head that pissed me the F off.
Mm-hmm.
I hate uttering his name. You say it 3 times and he appears. Valentine.
Parking lot Peter. Parking lot Peter. Parking lot Peter. No.
Behind you.
Traffic was murder.
I just.
But you know, I will say, like, I've tried to be the nicer one here, but
yes.
But when he's full on evil Peter, like he was this week, I can take it. I'm like, you know what? I enjoy this. Like, I enjoyed him jumping off the cliff. We know he'll be back. He's got 9 lives, just like his daddy.
I know.
Or because we're still, I guess, going Faison being the daddy, not Valentine, even though the fact that Faison had like 3 10s as kids, like, yeah, we don't sure.
Right. Oh my God. I just when Anna shot him, great. Okay, shot him on the arm. Good. Valentine shows up like, great, we got him. Storyline will be over. Thank you, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
They would never do that for you guys. Like,
of course not. Valentine turns around for a second or whatever, just whatever the fuck you doing, and then all of a sudden he jumps. No.
Yeah. Well, I felt like the staging of all that was so terrible. One was one of the worst uses of slow-mo to really pay off a moment because it was so the geography of that whole situation was I had no idea he was jumping into a river. I had no idea where he was going. Was he just like, jumping over a hill? Was he going to just roll down something? I had no idea what was going on.
Same
so
here.
It was that it was a frustrating scene to watch.
Yeah, I don't fucking tell you, like I like Peter. He's a cartoonish film. All I know is he is driving story. I mean, he is driving story, obviously. But
yeah, because I will say I hated to say it, but when both Peter and Cyrus were gone, it was pretty dull. Like we kind of need one of them. Like
Frank and I said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed weird to have 2 big villains go at the same time. We're like, what? That's kind of a weird wrap up. But nothing. But Lacretia, that's a great point. Faison had most protective kids require special disbelief. That's
yeah. Just saying, they're all very pretty people.
I was saying that they're okay. So now everybody knows Peter's on the loose. Peter is on the loose. So we got Anna and Valentine, growing closer, of course.
Mm-hmm. Finally.
But they're vowing to do whatever they can with that. But then they find out that Chloe Jennings is alive, so that's tying us back into Drew, because she asked him, "Where would you do with Drew? Where's Drew?" She asked him that, and he didn't answer like he didn't know nothing. So that's actually, it's like, okay, now that's tying in over here. So we have that, but then we also have back in Port Charles, we got Maxie having, because Nita told Maxie what was going on, to tell Britt and Scott what's going on, and connect dots there too. So I kind of like it. There's stuff.
There's stuff happening finally again. Like, but I do wonder what's the whole point of Drew, because I usually feel like I see where they're going. But with Drew, I'm not sure why he's back, other than, or Chloe too. It's like that we tied them both. It's like, okay, so Peter didn't kill them. He's not that bad, but he still killed Franco. But I did love, like, Sonny's like went off, well, not a big loss. Like, even though I love Franco, I love Chris, but that was funny because he was just like, whatever.
In character. Like Scotty goes, of course he is. Of course he said what kind of bug? It's like, they said potato bug. He's like, just like, of course he is. Like, because they hate each other. Like, because they're Karen. Yeah. So it's just like, I love that when they tie in the old school stuff, kind of. I mean, he hated Franco. He had no use for Franco. Sonny had no use for Franco. I agree with Drew. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, because to me, if Franco was still here, there's that connection with Drew. There's something. There's an anchor. I mean, I think both Frank and I agree. Like, we have no use for Sam. We just try to. I mean, as much as, like, she's on, which thankfully isn't a lot these days. It's like, yeah, I don't really care about that character. I just assume Scout's Jason's other kid he ignores, like, at this point. Like, and I was a big fan of Drew. I love Cameron Matheson too. I loved Billy Miller. But yeah, like, it's to the point where it's like, why do we have this character? I mean, Cameron could have played somebody else that may have fit better. But again, they may have some big plan that I have no freaking clue about that's going to turn out great. But I'm just really confused as to what all this is tying to. Obviously, it's going to tie to our new Victor Cassadine, but.
Well, I was thinking, like,
Shane Donovan.
Yeah. With Peter August, it feels like, trying to maybe give everybody that Peter's done wrong to. They're trying to give them some moment to kind of get their, justice from Peter. So whether it's Maxie, chewing him out about the baby and stuff like that, she had her moment. This week gives a little bit of a moment for Anna. Valentine really hasn't had one yet, but maybe they're trying to hold out for Drew. They're going to let Drew get back so he can have a moment with Peter as well. So, I mean,
that's true. I mean, I think they could. I like the umbrella part of the story, like that is actually affecting Brooklyn. And Brooklyn and Chase getting closer. Very cute scenes. Love them together. I'm all in.
Yeah.
All in. The fact that Brooklyn could not do a puzzle and was just like melting down, just garbage.
It was cute.
Yeah, I feel like that was like a ploy to get Chase and into something to do. I don't think she was sincere in that. But yeah, I did think it was kind of a lame thing. But they're really into board games and puzzles on this show, which I like too. But it's like people really do that all the time.
I'd rather watch that than watch Willow catch a bouquet and her and Michael talk about getting married. I'd rather watch paint
I'd rather watch Peter do a puzzle than
me too. There you go. I hate that storyline. I'd rather watch Peter, who you guys all know I hate Peter. I'd rather watch him do a puzzle.
Yeah, I love me some Brooklyn and Chase though. Like, Brooklyn is actually one of my favorite characters.
Mine too.
Like,
Mine too. She's grown. She's actually really grown. We're seeing when they do commit, like Frank always says, when they commit and show us a character's growth and storyline arc. We've seen Maxie all this whole time. We're seeing Lisa's good. We're seeing her growth from when she started.
And Britt.
Britt. So when they actually show us, that's the whole thing. They show us, we can get invested and go, okay. So Brooklyn, even through both castings, Brianna Lane and her, we saw a growth happening with her. And her and Maxie, I really like that they're becoming super close because of the situation. So Peter drove that story too, so to speak. Then you got Finn and Elizabeth going, so how did he crawl in the freezer after we knocked him out? You got that going on. This literally is an umbrella. It affects everybody, Frank. Everybody. It affects everybody. Even you at home. It affects you too. You're like,
affected. I am affected as well. Yes. I did like Scotty really just having no time for Maxie's story. It's like, what does this have to do with Obrick?
I love it. I love it.
What do I care? I don't care about any of this other crap.
Oh, Scotty.
I mean, which is frustrating because I would love to have Scotty have some meaty part of the storyline, but I feel like they're just not going to give it to him, and I'm going to be bummed.
He's comic relief.
Yeah.
But it's like Scotty is all about like he's always doing the threatening, and whether a child of his kills, I'm going to make sure you pay, and the show never gives us that, and it's like yes, he's comic relief, but come on, let's give.
That's what I mean. No, I wish it was more. I wish it was more. I'm saying that they reduced him to like this comic relief.
Just give me Scotty getting really involved in the Victor and Liesel stuff, and let him have some time to give some payback to Victor. I'd love it.
But I think that's going to happen possibly. That's the whole point. He's like,
yeah, I mean, they did let him say, I mean, that's how he and Liesel got together, was he saved her life from, what was his name? Dr. Kirk. Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Kirk. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Kirk. So maybe it will. A few things you wanted, Frank, have happened in the last 3 weeks. You asked for them on the show. Mm-hmm. They happened. So maybe.
Are the writers listening?
Are they listening to Frank Moran on GHB Spotlight and Recap on JLJ Media? Maybe you are.
6 years. Yeah. I mean, we've earned our cred.
Hello, they should listen to us. We know what we're talking about. But I think, that's a possibility. And meanwhile, we have Liesel and Victor, and we get confirmation Victor knows Peter.
Yeah,
and he called Peter to warn. So there's something that we don't know. We don't know exactly. So remember, there's also a chick that's in that place for Drew. So is that Hayden? Is that some other chick? Is that Emily? I mean, who knows what it is? Is it somebody that maybe Drew is connected to? Is it Kim?
Yeah.
And we know that Victor wants Liesel to help out with some medical thing. So whatever that's
some research. They always have research going on. Them Cassadines. So there's that. But she pulled a knife on at the end, so we'll see what happens there. But that's kind of not Kane Rogan. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It was like, Christopher Cousins. But then when he didn't want to come back, they were like, we're going to kill this guy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We always want Serena on the show, but that's not a story. But that's the thing. So this, again, it's an umbrella story. It's funny to see Liesel in this kind of, she's being taken advantage of role. She's trying to fight it. She really cares about her daughter. That's the idea. And apparently Victor knows all. So Victor knows all of this.
Yeah.
So he knows all. And that whole thing was a setup. So everything was a setup. He's been watching it for a long time, and it's been set up. So that's.
Well, I feel like Liesel, she may be in a compromised position right now, but at some point she's going to be able to turn the tables, and then you get to see the nice.
Yeah, I mean, she killed Victor before,
I do feel like the show wasted it because you set up a great thing for Liesel's room wherever she's staying. Is that there's people can come in from any direction. So boringly walk into the front door is boring. Crawl up from under the bed or lower down from the ceiling.
They show up.
Yeah.
Hey, we're here. I don't know where are the four walls? What's going on?
That's right. Spring out of a painting.
Yeah, all of a sudden they were there. And speaking of another problem child, I laughed because Kevin was looking at this bitch like, "Oh, you're trying to outsmart me." And Kevin looked at her like, he's getting that Esme chick. She makes me laugh. I hate the character, of course, but we were supposed to hate her, of course. The actress is doing a great job being creepy. She's so creepy.
Oh yeah, this is like a new Nell, and I like it because we all love Chloe Lanier as Nell, and Nell was a good bad guy. Like you weren't supposed to like her,
right?
And I think that Esme is really doing that. And this actress, what's her name, Avery Cole, I think she's really good. I was like, I like this character,
and I love that Joss and Trina are just like, no, bitch.
Yeah, I feel like she was brought on more as an adversary for Joss than anything else, and I do feel like she is connected to Ryan, maybe his kids somehow, or Kevin's. I mean, like it's very odd to me that we haven't had any hint other than the obvious, like her asking questions. But yeah, I mean, Spencer clearly likes Trina. Esme is not really a threat to that. I think I feel like this is more somebody that Joss can spar with, and I like it. I do like when we get a good villain.
Well, remember, Ryan couldn't blink hard enough when he saw Esme. He was like, "Get the bitch out of here! Get the bitch out of here!" He was gonna hurt his eyes trying to blink. When Ryan's like, "Get the bitch out of here," then there's something wrong. Because Harmony's like, "Alexis," and Kevin's like, "Nicholas." I mean, like they all see right through this bitch.
Yeah,
and how she's and everything. She's not sharply sweet, but I love that Trina. But see, here it goes. It takes nobody, not the PCPD. They're bumbling in. It takes two girls who are 18 years old to actually kind of go, wait a minute, I think Spencer and
he just had an
Esme
accomplice. Yeah, Trina's smarter. I mean, she should be a cop because, like, obviously they need her. I mean, I get that. Say Dante, I feel bad because, like, this is the kind of crap that really does go on. Is they honestly don't like Nicholas or Ava, so they really weren't looking that hard or really investigating. And it's pretty clear because it's like Trina, as soon as she started listening in on this Esme bit, she's like, oh no, they did it together. Like something's up here. Like this is some BS. I got to save my girl Ava. But that was because she was actually listening.
I would say before we go, Candace Mack is in the room forever a day. And Candace, make sure you watch the first part of the show. We had Ladine Harvey on, our original co-host. So make sure you watch that. And it's a happy anniversary. Thank you, Candace Mack. Yeah, I think, you know, after this talk, because Esme had messed up several times by calling her Lauren and Kiki, and she wasn't there. So I just think it's funny that the PCPD can never get their man or woman or whoever. It's always, I mean, these two girls are 18 years old are actually going, this don't seem right. Something seems wrong.
But whoever said it was great to wear for Dante to wear suits, I appreciate that tip for the PCPD. I was like, I like the new wardrobe for Dante. I gotta say.
So Frank, what do you think about that? I mean, this Esme chick. What's going on for you?
I mean, she's creepy. I just need to get to what the Ryan connection is. Just that's the only thing I'm interested about. You know, I mean, I am liking that Trina and Jocelyn and to what extent Cam. That they're into this, so I'll be curious. I'm glad that it's not like we're not dragging it out with Nell trying to find out that she's really people catching on that she's a bad person. That we've already got these people.
They're not dragging it out. You're right. They're not dragging that out.
They're like, something's up. Something's up. And Nicholas is like, Nicholas sees it too, but he's just like, I stabbed my son, so I feel bad, so I'm overcompensating.
I did like Spencer's reaction though, hearing that Sonny was alive.
Yeah,
I know. I really liked Spencer and Sonny's relationship, so it'll be good to see this Spencer with Sonny. So
yes, I'm very curious to see Spencer with Sonny to see how they because I love them too. They were very close, and I like the fact that he was excited. Esme's still on like, excuse me, this is not good for us, and he's just thinking, no, it's fine. And I love Uncle Sonny. Like he was more happy that his son, like in real life, like I'm happy. I mean, we got some schemes going, but he loved his Uncle Sonny. He loved him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something kind of like.
The bad thing though is that when it all does blow up and Sonny finds out that he did put that Ryan Chamberlain teddy bear in with Avery's room.
And Avery, what's he gonna do to Spencer? Like he wouldn't. I don't think he would ever hurt Spencer, but he'll be very disappointed, and he'll give him one of those speeches.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's about Esme. It's about what was Sonny.
Oh yeah.
Esme. So maybe Esme is Nell's little sister. That's pretty funny.
But I like that nobody likes Kevin, except for Laura. It seems like.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, are you my stepdad or are you my
shrink or whatever? I was like, oh god.
It's like, oh, we're sorry, we don't want to, cramp your style anymore, Kevin.
I know, poor Kevin. I love Kevin.
I do too.
Franco did. Franco liked him. Yeah, and Ava.
And Ava. They like him. I like him. I think he's looking at Esme like, okay, bitch, I see what you're trying to do to me. Like he's like, I'm not dumb. He's like, I'm not dumb. I'm a psychiatrist. I mean, I'm like, she's trying to act like she's outsmarting him, and he's just not buying. But he's not. But see, he doesn't let it go. He's just watching her. Okay. He's assessing, and he told Nicholas what he thought. He's like, this. You need to keep an eye on this one over here. She's high maintenance and everything. But I think Spencer is in over his head. I think he liked her.
Oh yeah.
But he's in over his head.
I think she's blackmailing him, or there's something there because you can tell he's not really into her. Like they're not playing it that way. I don't think.
Yeah. And also, folks, Jeannie Francis is still on vacation, so that's why she's not on. So I brought up several times, like, when's she coming back? We don't know when she's coming back. I'm sure they'll announce it soon. But she's now one of the folks who takes vacations. Yes, she does.
Good for her.
Yeah. Why not? She'll be good.
Yeah.
So it takes vacations. My paper got soaked. So did I miss anything? I'm like, did we miss anything? My paper soaked. But those are the big stories. I think those are the big ones. I mean,
yeah.
I guess that's we didn't see anybody else. We didn't see any, like a lot of people we didn't see. So it was mostly about Sonny coming back.
Yeah.
And I guess the two guys are dead. They haven't said anything really kind of.
Oh yeah, I think they did discuss the bomb and the limo,
Okay.
I guess, a little bit, and of course, we got to see Diane and Spinelli, who we love.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Really awkward scene with Gladys and Brando.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you really shouldn't wait on him, Mom. I mean, listen, because this stuff might blow up on him, his work or whatever. Like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everybody wants Esme to be Ryan's daughter. That could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's his crazy mother? Who's the crazy mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big crazy.
It did remind me that one of my least favorite scenes in soap operas is when somebody's coming over, more often like for some purpose, and the person they're coming to talk to has something important to tell them, but they can't be bothered. Don't tell me something that's important right now. I have to talk to you about this thing. So I'm thinking more of Dante and Jason, when it's like, I got something important to tell you. No, I've got to talk to you about this specific thing. Don't tell me this important piece of information. That'd be great. Oh, I hate those scenes so much.
Yes, we're not fans of Dante anyway, so I'm like, oh, I was like that character too. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Yeah, more Christina. We're on a real show. Do something with her. Like, give her a story. Shoot.
I wonder who's going to buy Charlie's. Whoa, oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I forgot the Charlie's was still around, actually. I was like, that's right, it's still there. I'm like, you just give it to Christina, let her run it. Let her have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
I know. Let her have it. Let her have it.
She's not got anything going on, unfortunately, because the writers don't give her anything going on.
They don't.
No.
In a time where possibly her and Valerie could have gotten together, but
I know.
No.
Speaking of that, happy birthday to Brittany Sarpy, who played original Valerie this weekend. And today it's the 25th anniversary of Nancy Lee Grahn debuting as Alexis Davis.
Look at her go.
25 years. Yeah, that's a long time.
There you go.
Before that, she was on Santa Barbara as Julia Wainwright. Okay, that's it, everybody. That's all we talked long enough. I got chicken legs. I got chicken legs to make, and I'm still sitting in my wet drink. That's how professional I am. I did a whole show with all alcohol on me. I smell like a brewery or something right now or something. It's really crazy.
Or how I normally smell.
There you go. It's like same. So I'm like, it's crazy time. Like, it's getting a little cold down here. I was like, yeah, I need to get up the air, and do that. But thank you everybody for. 6 years we were doing the show, or a variation of the show, or some part of the show, and very different whatevers. But I personally appreciate my co-hosts. I appreciate you guys out there. It's the biggest show of my shows. So I really just keep thanking you guys over and over and over and over and over again. The show, General Hospital is not perfect. But it's a show that we still love, we watch, and we wish it always to be better and give us something great. That's what we do here. So, but from JLJ Media and James Lott Jr., thank you so very much. My co-host, I love you guys very much. Go ahead and tell them where you can find you guys. Go ahead and go first.
Oh, well, I mean, the show may not be perfect, but we are. Folks, thanks. Yes, everything that James said. And if you also are passionate about talking about a TV show and you want to put it together, let's meet up on Craigslist Casual Encounters and see what we can.
Funny. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Or meet me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJack.
Well, and since I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
Only one. And you can follow me. We're all James Lott Jr. sold at James Lott Jr. also media platforms. And I got that whole thing from one of our first engineers ever, Alexis Torres. I want to give her a shout out because she was with us for a long time. In the very beginning, she's in Pennsylvania, living her life like it's golden. So I got that saying from her, so let me have it. And also a special shout out to Marissa Serafini. A shout out to Steve Egberts. Shout out to Josh Alonzo. I'm trying to think of anybody else who did our shows on the weekends. Those are the main ones who did a lot of our shows over the years at AfterBuzz. So I want to thank all of them. I want to thank every single guest who comes on the show, because seriously, I'm so glad you still believe in our show and will come on. Special mentions like Kathleen Gotti.
Yeah.
Over this Perry Shen, who's been on over many times over the years. We've had people come on here multiple times who are just wonderful. Carolyn Hennessy, people who just support the show, and we really appreciate it. We do really appreciate it. Past and future guests will be coming on also. So, And so all the other GH podcasts, there's like a ton of you guys out there now. Some of which said because of us, you started something. So we're glad we could help, get that something for you guys to do. Have fun with the show. Have a good time. Carve out your identity. It's for fun. So like, just have fun with it. The show's not going anywhere anytime soon that they can think of. So good luck to all of you guys too, and to all the Facebook GH groups. Lastly, I can say thank you to all of them because you guys let me share this in your groups, and there's thousands of you out there who comment and share and tell us what you think about General Hospital. You have your favorites, you don't have your favorites. We fight sometimes. That's how families are. And to Sundays, the fact that I give up a lot of my Sundays for you guys, that's something I usually don't do. Yeah, Frank is perfect. And Frank will not be here next week because he's going to something place that I want to go to by my house. So please have fun. Please have fun. We'll see if Lacretia comes back. We'll see how she feels in a week or so. Or if me, we'll see how I feel in a week or so. But we do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'll see you again. Thank you very much. Happy anniversary, everybody.